Today I'm going to be breaking down how you can use Super Witch Bat here at Townhall 12 to 3-star any base. So here is the army composition that we are going to be using today, and honestly when you guys see this strategy you're going to realize how exceptionally powerful it is. Those bat spells on the back end, sometimes you don't even need them because super witches themselves are so strong. So let's jump in and we'll break this one down. So I'd just like to kick off by saying I am sorry for my voice. I have had a throat infection. Unfortunately I've been very unwell. However, I don't really want to go too long without upload. I love making videos for you guys and hopefully the quality is still there. Just ignore kind of my raspy, unwell voice. But let's jump into this and proceed. So the first thing we're going to be doing with this strategy is kicking off the funnel, and it's really important here that you funnel with two different heroes, the first of which being your Grand Warden, the second going to be your Queen. Now you'll see we have the Grand Warden down here. He's going to be coming in with a few healers on him. They are going to be, of course, to protect him as he begins to create the funnel. And as you guys can see on that opposite side, we do of course have the Queen coming in with the healers from her ability. That of course is going to be coming from the healer puppet equipment, not healers you are bringing in the army composition. She is going to go up that left hand side, create the funnel over there. We did use a baby dragon just to make sure we were funneling her in the correct way. Grand Warden is of course going to be a little bit slower than our Queen, but once he's set that funnel on this bottom section, you're then just going to go ahead and get those super witches coming in. Now you'll notice in this particular army composition we don't actually have any wall breakers, so that is why we used the Barbarian King's Earthquake Boots to open up that first wall section. Next up we're going to be coming in with that Siege Barracks and our remaining regular witches. They are going to be coming in from that top section of the base in this particular attack, though sometimes you're just going to use it kind of alongside behind that Queen just to guarantee that funnel is fully created if she doesn't quite do her job. But they're going to be coming in, creating the funnel up there, just helping to push that Queen maybe slightly deeper into the base. She is actually going to be dealing with the clan castle troops in this particular one, though with this army composition it's not the end of the world if your super witches have to deal with those clan castle troops themselves, because they of course can target both ground and air troops. So that's not going to be the end of the world. We're just going to continue pushing on through. That Grand Warden of course started off that funnel, so they should hopefully push into the core of the base. Be careful for things like single target infernos. You ideally don't want them to lock onto any of your heroes, so you probably could use one of your free spells if needed, though try to save them if at all possible. You'll notice of course we haven't really used any spells other than that poison spell. But right on cue, we're going to be deploying down that rage spell right in the core of the base there. And typically what you're looking to do here is also make sure that rage spell is catching our healers. You'll see the Eternal Tome ability going to go off there as we progress through to the Town Hall. Sometimes you're going to want to use it to protect up your troops as they go through the Town Hall, though in this particular case, we used it a little bit earlier because we had so much damage coming down onto our troops. And we just use that rage to allow those healers to bring all those super witches and big boys back up to full HP. Now we progress on with the last stage of our attack, which of course is going to be those bat spells. They're going to be coming in a bat wave, which is where you deploy them on the outside of the base and they swarm to the nearest defense. You're then going to continue to freeze up any splash damage buildings like the wizard towers we have here around the outside of the base. But it just so happens we probably could have 3-starred this base without the bat spells, because these super witches pushed all the way through the base and they were able to crush so many different things. We swagged both those free spells in the core of the base. The bat's going to help with the cleanup, but it is a beautiful way to kick off this video. We have two more examples of this incredibly powerful army. So again, we're going to be kicking off proceedings here with our 4 healers on that Grand Warden. He's this time going to be coming in from that right hand side of the base. Queen's going to be coming down from that bottom section. A couple of things to keep in mind when you're coming in with that Queen. You'll see we're highlighting 2 of these key defenses that we are looking to get here. With the Grand Warden, he should actually be able to reach that Eagle artillery while also cleaning up some of those other buildings. Baby Dragon just going to come in to help speed him along a little bit, make sure he's not going off on the wrong direction. But be very careful of this multi-target inferno down on this bottom section. If you drop your Queen's ability too early, like here, that multi-target inferno is just going to chew through all of those healers, and ideally in this particular style of attack, you're looking to keep those healers alive for as long as possible and let them go with the Queen up on the outside of the base. But the Grand Warden has now locked onto that Eagle artillery, which is perfect. Meanwhile, the Queen is doing a grand old job up and along that left hand side of the base, cleaning up multiple defences, and now we're going to come in with the next stage of our attack. So ideally what we were looking to do here was maybe potentially deal with that multi-target Inferno, but because the Queen has walked away, this is kind of plan B. We're coming in with that siege barracks, we're then going to bring in those witches as well. But we're going to just hold on deploying those regular witches just for a second until that multi-target Inferno goes down. Super witches, of course, are going to come in to pull that Grand Warden in the direction we want. Of course, it goes without saying, make sure your Grand Warden is set to ground, otherwise those healers will not be able to heal him. But let them do their thing. They have a load of HP, so unless something like a single target Inferno or an enemy hero locks onto one of your super witches, you should be pretty safe. Next up, we have those hog riders coming out of that siege barracks. They are a really good troop, of course, for taking down defenses, but you again need to be careful if they do go straight to the town hall, like they end up doing here. That tornado trap is not going to be good for them, and they do end up going down. So the one thing I would say to be very careful with this strategy is the town hall itself. Bat spells are notoriously not good against the town hall building itself. They will pretty much clear any other defensive structure, but when it comes to that town hall, they have a really big weakness. They just take forever to take it down, and 9 times out of 10, because of the splash damage coming from that Tesla on the town hall, it's going to win that battle. But luckily for us here, the Queen does end up going in. She snipes down that town hall, and we can go ahead and get our bat spells coming through on those last few defenses. You'll see we of course have those free spells. You want to make sure you're using them on buildings like wizard towers, multi-target infernos, and the town hall itself if it is still up. But anything that can do splash damage to your bats is what you're going to want to freeze. But again, we're swagging 3 free spells in this one. Incredibly strong. And let's take a look at the final example. So with that third and final example, we have a bit of an unorthodox base, not really symmetrical, fairly difficult to walk, but this strategy is really versatile. As long as you can get a decent funnel at the start with your Grand Warden and with your Archer Queen on that opposite side, you're going to be set. Now the Queen, of course, is going to be coming in with that frozen arrow. It's a really good piece of equipment, especially when she's walking up along the outside of the base. She's only going to be dealing with 1 or 2 fairly weak defenses at a time, an archer tower, a cannon, a mortar, maybe a couple of multi-target inferno beams, but never anything too strong. So it's really important just to let her do her thing while the Grand Warden is also doing his thing. You're going to want to run both of these simultaneously, which of course does require a little bit of skill, but don't be scared to jump between them. Make sure they're both alive. We definitely don't want to lose either one of them. You do have 1 rage spell in there, so if needed, you want to rage up probably your Grand Warden to make sure you're protecting him, but only if he needs it. Coming in with the next portion of this attack, we hadn't fully created that funnel with the Queen on that left hand side, so the King is actually going to come on through. We know he's going to walk and join with the rest of our troops, so it's absolutely fine for us. Remember, he does have those Earthquake Boots abilities. With open wall compartments like we have in this base, you'll see there's actually a point in which the troops can enter into the base. That's really going to help us out. It means they can enter without the need of a wall breaker, which of course we don't have in this army. You can then go ahead and use your Barbarian King's ability, as you progress through into the core. Be careful of those clan castle troops. Things like dragons, super dragons, electro dragons, anything that's up in the air, balloons even, rocket loons, super minions, anything like that are probably going to cause you a couple of issues, but that is why we do have that poison spell in there. You can go ahead, drop it down to protect up your troops for a decent amount of time. Hog Riders again going to be coming through in the back end. We actually decide to use 1 of our free spells there on that multi-target inferno, just allowing our Hog Riders to deal with it, because like I said, we have the wizard towers and the multi-target inferno and the town hall itself. Those are kind of the 3 things you need to be careful with when it comes to your bat spells. So if you only have 1 or 2 of those things to deal with on the back end, like here, we have the one wizard tower, we have the town hall, and then there's no other real threat to our bats, then we're going to be sitting pretty comfortably. Get ready with that freeze bell, go ahead, drop it down, let your bats come all the way through, deal with these remaining defenses, be careful again of that town hall. Luckily it does go down just in time as we actually swag pretty much that Grand Warden ability. We swag a rage, swag 2 more free spells. This was just a video of absolute swag. I feel like I haven't used that word in a long time, but hey, it's throwing me back to my youth, so that's pretty cool. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Again, apologies for my raspy voice. It's not fun recording like this, but I want to make sure I'm getting videos out for you guys so you can 3-star all these bases in CWL, in regular wars, and out in trophy pushing. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.